Okay, I have here a Brahma lock, which the stamping is not great on this one, but just a Brahma. Something trademark. Anyway, here's our key. Must be registered trademark. That would make sense. Goes in like so. Push, turn, tailpiece goes. So that is the lock. See, we've got our different sliders, wafers, I don't know what you want to call them. There, we've got 7 of them. We're going to send a pin that doesn't do anything. They're all linked together by a really heavy spring on the bottom, which you can see you can push out of the way like that. But the sliders stay basically intact. So take the spring away, and then they're springless sliders. There's a sidebar that sits here. That's it there. Just 1 tabs on the outside to keep it in place. So you need to line all the sliders up, and then they line up with this thing, and then it can turn. That's the basic principle. So I pick it using this thing, a flag, and some tweezers. If you push down too far, you can pull them back up with the tweezers. Because they're springless, it's not too hard to do, but generally it's quite fiddly. Now, another disclaimer. A disclaimer. Let's adjust that so I can see what I'm doing. I don't know how good the camera angle is going to be on this, but like, basically. So here's my key and the bitting. So you can see we have one that doesn't need to go too far, and then this one doesn't need to move at all. A couple others. So knowing that every single slider has a true gate and a false gate, I of course do know what the key looks like, and I'm going to save quite a bit of stuffing around by attempting to preset past most of those. So there's that. So we're going to take the spring off. My need is a tool that can just like hold that there. So we can come in here and apply tension to the core or not. And that will work. So this one here goes all the way down. That one wants to go pretty much all the way down. This one here wants to go pretty much all the way down. That one there. I think I just push that. That doesn't want to move at all. All right. If we get a little bit of tension on, you might be able to set this one up there. Come back a bit. Whoop. It probably went too far. Well, maybe not, actually. I need is a tension tool that can keep that main spring all the way down the whole time, because it really is a pain. That's in position now. I think that one's good. Don't know about that one. I think that might be down too low. Oh, is that it? I think that's it. Yep. So there we go. And we can just push on the cam piece to get that further around. And then we can see that has rotated the whole position. Oof. See that? Focus. All right, so there's our tailpiece on the back now, clearly rotated off to there. You can just spin this around with a flag off anywhere. You can tension on the other discs even. Just a bit fiddly. Yeah, pulling it around like that. There we go. Oop. Just trapped my flag. Pushed it around a whole position now. Let's just free that back out. Thankfully, it doesn't matter if we lock it back up. Come on, give me my flag back. That might be annoying, but yeah. Pull the spring off. There we go. All right, time to pull this apart. Being able to preset helps massively. What also would make this easier is a tool that you could push in to take the spring off and then just hold there. And then you could do the whole thing with something holding core tension and manipulate. You could jiggle test a lot better. But whatever, it's still a bit of fiddly. Yeah, knowledge of the key definitely helps, but otherwise you get everything into a false gate and it'll rotate around, but not as much. And then the true gate's a bit wider and you jiggle test and stuff around. Now this back tail piece we don't actually need to pull off. The whole lock splits in half like this. So it just comes apart and it's kind of stiff. All right, there it comes off the back. So before we get to the business end, this is the tail piece. You can see that just loose in there. So if we unscrew it, this middle piece comes out and then just the back bit comes off, but I need to do that. So there's that back piece. You can see it's got these two little roll pins that will hold it together. There's our side bars trying to come out. So we've got the hole, the front face comes off like that. Just got a milled hole, and where the screw from the back goes all the way forwards to the front, all the way into there, and that's what holds it together. Got a bit of an anti-drill faceplate there. So that's that. Here are our sliders, and here are our side bars. So put it down like that. So it comes apart like this. Got that side and that side. I'll just show one of them up. That's what they look like. The little cutouts for the wafers to go in and turn a little bit and get stuck. And then when they're lined all the way up, will it go? Now, tweezers. So then, pull these out. Oops. It's this one. So here's a close-up on one of them. So that's the bit you're interacting with, this edge that goes to the middle. And on the outside, you've got this little false gate, a deep true gate. They sort of just spring in there. So we'll put that down the bottom there. That one there. That one there. That one there. 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 And there. Now in the middle we've got, this is that bit that they spring. This pushes all of them back up if you haven't got the main spring on. So it hits them all evenly. So if you just push that out of the way, real flat. There, and then in the middle we've got a huge big spring that's really stiff. So that's, you need a reasonable tool to overcome that. Obviously that sits with the cap on top like that. Then there's this, just Doesn't really come apart any further. So you've got your center rod there, just sort of a bit loose now. And the whole thing, I do not believe this comes any further apart. There's a pin at the back for the cam piece. But yeah, you've got the slide. So when the sliders all line up, the hole there, then these on here can just rotate around, and that's how it works. So it goes on like that. When they're all lined up, it just spins around. So that is the famous Brahma lock. Picked, obviously a bit easier because I did know the bitting. Blind pick would be a lot harder, but you still got to line the gates up. Feel for the tension. It's a bit tricky with the tools. Yeah, like I say, a truly blind pick would be significantly harder. But it's just a matter of trial and error and time, because you can take the spring tension off. You can pretty easily find the gates. It's just a matter of working out which one's true and which one's false for each one. And yeah, that's pretty much that. So let's get one last close up. We can see everything all together. Really cool lock. Very nice piece of history. These were like the first proper high security lock ever made. The famous one that was the challenge lock that set off all challenge locks, but that one had like 18 sliders, I think, whereas this one obviously only has a few. But they still make these today. This one was brand new, bought a couple of years ago, so it's been sitting on my shelf for a long time. Nice to finally get around to picking the thing.